I'm Reverend Michelle Buchheit, the minister of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Amherst in Williamsville, New York. Welcome to this first live-streamed service, coming to you on March 15th, 2020, in the midst of the pandemic COVID-19 coronavirus. We are on a new adventure together. Over the last couple of years, we've wondered about live streaming our services, but it always seemed like it was too much to think about at the time. Well, here we are. I hope all of you are well and are taking the proper precautions to safeguard your own health and that of your beloveds, your neighbors, even complete strangers. If there's anything this virus is teaching us, it is that we truly are all connected, and that chance encounters can be life-altering. The challenge is to understand the difference between social distancing and isolation. We still need one another and can be present to one another. We just need to be a little more creative about finding ways to express that connectedness.
I really am sorry about it.
First world problems.
It really is. Well, I need coffee, and I can't make my own coffee.
Oh my God.
For folks who may not have had the chance to visit our physical church space, I'd like to tell you a little bit about this weaving. A few years ago, I began to think about creating something that would represent who we are as a congregation. We are blessed to have a marvelous fiber artist and weaver in our midst, so I approached Pam about a possible project, and she enthusiastically agreed to help create a tapestry. We decided to base the design on the colors of the rainbow, which is the mnemonic device that we use to help our children learn the 7 principles of Unitarian Universalism. Each month would feature a new color, beginning with red, which you can see at the bottom. Between each color is a narrow band of black and shades of brown to signify our proposed 8th principle, focused on racial equity and justice. Congregants brought in fabric scraps and other materials that could be woven together to illustrate our shared covenant to gather in compassionate community, to celebrate diversity of thought and unity of spirit, and to seek wholeness for ourselves, our children, and our world. At the end of each month, Pam would gather the materials and weave them on a specially designed frame, or as you can see, on 3 specially designed frames. The weavings were brought in every couple of months so that we could see the progress of our joint project, celebrating our connection to one another. Now, from my usual place at the front of the sanctuary, I always have the best view of this tapestry and of all your beautiful faces.
We find ourselves suddenly thrust into very difficult times. It's fair to say that our current situation is not something that we saw coming as little as 2 months ago, or perhaps the real scope of this wasn't clear even 2 weeks ago. Arguably, it still isn't. We face an uncertain future, not knowing how severe this pandemic will become or how long it will last. We take heart in seeing that things are seeming to improve in China and South Korea, suggesting that there is indeed an end to this. Appropriately, we turn to science, as practiced by the people who have devoted their lives to the study of biology, medicine, and related specializations to guide us, even as we hope that they arrive soon at a cure or a vaccine. And in the meantime, we count on and deeply appreciate the heroic efforts of doctors, nurses, and other medical professionals to keep us healthy and alive. We also become aware of what is really the essential work, ensuring that we have food, electricity, water, and other necessities while we hunker down in our homes and wait this out.
Blah, 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 blah.
Blah, 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 blah. See my mug?
Aww.
What's going on? There's a baby kitten.
Can you
See the baby kitten?
Can you not see?
Oh, I see. Hi. Because I pinned you. See, it's interesting because I pinned you, so, oh, there are dogs sitting down. on myself because Michelle has just sucked mine into hers and run the clicker physically.
Stop.
And I'm like, where is the button? That's,
just
I mean, it seems like it's just
Relax. Like, go.
Michelle, you're gonna be showing PowerPoints?
Ow. I'm not. I'd like to share a reading with you. The title of the reading is Pestilence. And this was written by Austin Noble Gottler, who is the author of the Fayfolk blog. And this is used with Austin's permission. The worst thing of pestilence is that he drives us apart with his poisoned arrows of disease and sickness. Other calamities, as terrible as they are, have the unique ability to bring people together, to allow some brave few to rise up like a light in the dark, offering help with kindness. But pestilence will have none of this, preferring to keep us alone and cowering in terror as he rides to and fro upon a white horse. We must not let him conquer us, for that road leads to despair. But we must stand united, even if it is only in spirit, help those who need our help, and be there for those who already struggle under the weight of terrible inner darkness. The bonds of friendship and love may not stop pestilence from riding out across the face of the world, but it may yet be our greatest defense against the worst plague of all his arsenal, fear. Spirit of life, come unto me, sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea. This is my cat. Move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots, hold me close. Wings, set me free. Spirit of life, come to me. Come to me.
I'm going to do a reading that I did yesterday. It's from one of Michelle's favorite books, The Book of Awakening, and it's called The Necessary Privilege. So often we war against sadness as if it were an unwanted germ, and pine after happiness as if it were some promised Eden whose gate is keyed to one secret flaw we need to rectify in order to be worthy. Even our Constitution attempts to rescue us from the hard, full journey of individuation, ensuring what no government can ensure, the soul's contentment, suggesting that happiness is our inalienable right, while implying to experience sadness leaves us somehow deprived. Yet it is no mistake that to suffer, means to feel keenly. For to feel deeply and precisely, with full awareness, is what opens us to both joy and sorrow. It is in that capacity to feel keenly that reveals the meaning of our experiences. If you are thirsty, You cannot dip your face into the stream and say, I'll only drink the hydrogen and not the oxygen. If you remove one from the other, the water can't remain water. The life of feeling is no different. We cannot drink only of happiness or sorrow and have life remain life. The truth is that as the lungs make use of the air we breathe, the heart makes use of the things we experience. Thus, to be alive is to feel. This is our right. To feel keenly is our necessary privilege.
If you've been waiting for us to arrive live on YouTube, we had a few technical difficulties because the whole world is lovingly watching children and grandchildren hunt for Easter eggs in their attic or whatever they're doing. So we are recording this so that you can have the service in its entirety.
Hello, friends. Scott Harrigan here, walking around our backyard, the Debbie Waterhouse Ecology Center, checking out the new rebirth of life during this pause in our national life. This truly is our little corner of our big blue boat home. And you can see the labyrinth here behind me. It's made it through the long cold winter, largely intact. Labyrinths are interesting because it seems to be a connection of many paths that lead to the center. Theologically, we believe in that. At the same time, it's a single path that leads to an integrated whole. And it reminds me of the different paths we have in our lives, our work life, our family lives, or even our community life. And we always need an organizing principle to make sure that we keep those in proper perspective so that they don't compete or conflict. And that center for me is the church. It is a lens through which I focus on the needs of the many in addition to the needs of my family and myself. And this church is the only church that I could ever belong to. It is a lifeline if you are someone who needs a community, a church in this world, but you don't believe in God. So it is very important to me.
Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Amherst on this Sunday following the 50th commemoration of Earth Day.
The reading for Earth Day, April 22nd, in Mark Nepo's Book of Awakening, is entitled, It Is Enough, and begins like this. One of the most difficult things for us to accept is that beneath all our dreams and disappointments, we live and breathe in abundance. It is hard when in pain to believe that all we ever need is before us, around us, within us, and yet it is true. Like leafless trees waiting for morning, something as great and as constant as the earth holds us up and turns us ever so slowly toward the light. Our task is only to be rooted and patient. The birds
is where we get the support and spiritual grounding that we need to even begin to address such a big, widespread, and seemingly intractable.
It's a magnificent... Oh, sorry. Start over. The reading for this Earth Day, April 22nd, in Mark Nepo's Book of Awakening is entitled, It Is Enough. I have to start over. Okay. The values of freedom, liberty, and the core... Blech. Sorry. Okay. I'm going to start with the part. Yeah.
Starting over. Don't you poop on me.
We gather this hour as people of faith
as people of the faith
with joys and sorrows,
with joys and sorrows,
gifts and needs.
Gifts and needs.
We light this beacon of hope,
We like this beacon of hope,
sign of our quest for truth and meaning.
sign of quest for truth from meeting.
In celebration of
A celebration of
the life we share together.
the life we share together.
Spirit Play stories will be shared as the time for all ages during this month of May to illustrate the value of the program to the whole congregation. It is our hope that families will enjoy our online services together. In consideration for the attention span of our littlest friends, they will be in the beginning of the service each week. We hope you all enjoy and learn from Spirit Play.
This underlay is blue. Sometimes blue reminds me of the sky and nature. I remember that nature is one of our Unitarian Universalist sources. I wonder if this story is about nature.
Today is Mother's Day, and I do want both to celebrate and be celebrated. Goodness knows we need a reason to celebrate. But I'm also thinking about how difficult the lives of many parents have become in the last few months. Between parents of young children who have no respite because of the loss of contact with babysitters, grandparents, or other carers, or parents who are struggling with the demands of homeschooling and working full-time, or parents of grown children who suddenly can't have any real contact with their children or grandchildren. There are just so many stories right now of heartache and overwhelm. And consequently, the celebration of Mother's Day is feeling heavy this year. Not because the work that mothers do and the place they hold in our lives is any less central now than at any other time in history. In fact, perhaps at this time we appreciate them even more. But it's certainly true that the circumstances that allow us to celebrate are suddenly and strangely constrained.
He was a Catholic from the Buffalo area, and she was raised in rural South Carolina. She came from a long line of Methodist ministers and married a Catholic, and in her own way was a rebel in a lot of the things that she did.
I don't know that I fully appreciated my mother until after she was gone. I was 32 when she passed away. And, we had some tenacious times. I'm a little strong-willed, and she definitely was strong-willed. But she modeled for me a professional life by working. And back in the 50s and 60s, that was not exactly the popular thing to do. And that you could still have family, that you could be surrounded by family, and that you could do well in your community by contributing and being in service, however that is. So
it was my mother when I was getting divorced, in the middle of the divorce and in the middle of doing my PhD thesis, trying to finish it. She typed the whole thing, and I dedicated it to her. It was 800 pages. I dedicated it to her because I wanted her to be a part of having something that was her own. I felt that she had put aside things that she wanted, her love of music, things like that. She
did things, and my sister and I were expected to do the same thing. I remember one time asking her what course should I take at university, and she said, it doesn't matter, but you're going to finish and get a degree.
As Karen said, my mom and dad did not thrust college upon us, but yet we were expected to go, and neither one of them finished grammar school. So the expectation was that I'd be the first in my family to go to college. And I was.
For needs which others serve, for services we give, for work and its reward. Sorry, I can hear myself and it's...
Oh, it's screwing up? All right.
Yeah.
It's a little delay, isn't it?
Yeah,
I had
it's
that
just like...
experience last week.
Yeah, that was a headache. I think I've just got to push some of the different buttons. All right.
It's like, I don't want to hear myself. That's what I torture other people with.
Don't look outside.
Spirit of life.
We light this chalice for Unitarian Universalism. This is the church of the open mind, the loving heart, and the helping hands, where we can come and be friends together.
The life of our religious community is fluid and ever-changing, with new lives, new visions, new ministries, and possibilities. 2 years ago, we welcomed our intern minister, Christina Church, and we have been changed. Today, we begin to say farewell to Christina, who has successfully completed her internship.
I thank the members and the friends of UU Amherst for the experiences I've had over the past 2 years. I thank you for your love, your witness, and your support. I was challenged, stretched, and my experiences gave me good tools with which to do ministry.
Today's service is our annual Faith Development Sunday. Of course, it looks much different than what we're used to. My hope is that it will convey the ideal that everything we do is faith formation, everything we teach is Unitarian Universalism, and the congregation is our curriculum. I'm happy to have beloved community members Katie Staszewski, Diane Bowfinger, and Chelsea Warren join me in welcoming you all today. They will share our opening words.
Rejoice and come in. Rejoice and come in. Let it be a joyful day. And to rejoice and come
Today, we're going to talk about prayer. There are many ways to pray. You can pray with your mind, you can sing songs or say special words, or you can pray with your whole body by doing yoga or dancing. This design is called a labyrinth. Some churches have large labyrinths inside or outside. We have one here at Unitarian Universalist Church of Amherst, out back in the Ecology Center.
Our category here is small mouth plastic. Do we think all of this is small mouth?
Does that look big? Oh yeah, it does.
It does. I actually think they did a great job.
Yeah.
I think this is all, and the caps are on. Yay!
Yeah.
Well, it says and lids, so those are good. This is not. Let's go put that one in the junk.
Junk plastic.
Here was our trick. This counts as small mouth because it has a number 2. It's not wider than the base. It's the same size as the base. That's our trick one. Those are all our 1s and 2s. Those are all recycled domestically. They have never been part of the Chinese plastic crisis. That's all the rest of this stuff.
Showing up is important. centering marginalized voices where we learn to be followers rather than leaders and support and follow the lead of those who experience injustice, oh, that is important work too. The following footage is from this week's Faith Leaders protest at Buffalo City Hall and the Erie County Detention Center. The call to action came from the organizers at Voice Buffalo, and every effort was made to center the voices of Black religious leaders.
We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. We who believe in freedom cannot rest.
Oh, how can you rest?
We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. Until the killing of black men, black mothers, sons is as important as the killing of white men, white mothers, sons. Sing with us. We who believe in freedom cannot rest.
Oh, how can you rest?
We who believe in freedom cannot rest until
Please enjoy this musical offering from UU Amherst member Nanette Cosby.
Hi everyone, this is a new song called If I Sing. It sounds discouraging, but it's actually hopeful. If I sing from the darkness, will you extinguish the flame? Then tell me I'm to blame. If I sing from the darkness while searching for light,
It's not easy being green, having to spend each day the color of the leaves. Well, I think it might be nicer being red or yellow or gold, or something much more colorful like that.
It's not easy being green. Seems you blend in with so many other ordinary things. And people tend to pass you over, 'cause you're not standing out like sparkles in the water or stars in the sky.
But green's the color of spring,
and green can be cool and friendly like,
and green can be big like an ocean,
or important like a mountain, or tall like a tree.
When green is all there is to be, it may make you wonder why.
But why wonder? Why wonder?
I am green, it'll do fine.
It's beautiful.
And I think it's what I want to be.
Hello, and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Amherst. My name is Reverend Michelle Buchheit, and I'm the minister of this congregation. You are really lucky because you've tuned in to one of our summer Preaching by Parishioners services. This important program has been a part of this congregation for decades, and it gives congregants, parishioners, an opportunity to work through creating a service, including the sermon, the music, everything. I've been working with these folks since January, and you are in for a real treat. Each Sunday is different, and so be sure to check our website, uuamherst.org, to see what's on the menu for this week and next.
I will show you hidden things you have not known. I will show you hidden things you have not known. I will show you have not known. I will show you hidden things you have not known. I will show you hidden things you have not known. I will show you hidden things you have not known. I will show you hidden things you have not known. I will show you hidden things you have not known. I will show you hidden things you have not known. I will show you hidden things you have not
And now, our time for all ages. How to feed 5,000 people.
Once upon a time, Jesus and his disciples, that is, his closest followers, were trying to take a day off. Jesus had become very popular, and people just wouldn't leave him alone. Jesus and the disciples wanted a little time away from the crowds that followed them everywhere, so they rented a boat and went to a lonely place far from any village. But people figured out where they were going, and by the time Jesus and his friends landed the boat, there were 5,000 people waiting there for them. So Jesus started to teach them, and he talked to them for hours. It started getting late, and the disciples of Jesus pulled him aside and said,
"We need to send these people to one of the nearby villages so they can get some food."
No,
said Jesus.
The villages around here are too small to feed 5,000 people. You'll have to give them something yourself.
What do you mean?
His disciples said.
We don't have enough money to go buy enough bread for all these people. We've got 17 tomatoes, and a couple loaves of bread.
All life comes from water.
Life started in the ocean, where it began to take its many and amazing forms.
Babies are cradled in water before they are born. Everything that lives needs water, from the smallest plant to the largest whale. From the beginning of history, humans have built their homes and their lives around water. Today, we celebrate water, which connects and nourishes all life.
Water, water everywhere, and not a drop to drink. So say the people of Flint, Michigan. So say the children of Detroit, Michigan.
So say those arrested for putting out water for Los Inmigrantes in the parched deserts that divide Mexico and Los Estados Unidos. And those water keepers who were beaten, fire hosed, and arrested at Standing Rock.
We thirst.
We thirst for justice.
We thirst for compassion and ultimate meaning.
Jesus said, if anyone even gives a cup of cold water to those little ones, to one of those little ones, because he is my disciple, I tell you the truth, he will certainly not lose his reward.
Each of us comes to this sacred space today to dip into the well that nourishes our thirsty spirits. Each of us comes with our own cup of goodness to pour into that well. The chalice is a vessel, a bowl, a cup we drink together.
Time for All Ages today is called The Lizard Song. There was a lizard who lived on a rock. He was very happy living on his rock. All day long, Lizard would sing, Zoli, 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 rock is my home. Zoli, 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 rock is my home.
There are places I remember all my life, though some have changed, some forever, not for better. Some have gone and some remain. All those places had their moments with lovers and friends. I still recall, some are dead and some are living. They are still in my life, I miss them all. But of all those friends and lovers and times I've shared with you, all those memories lose their meaning when I think of life as something new. Still I know I'll never lose my affection for people and things beyond recall. I will often think about them. They're still in my life, I thank them all. Still I know I'll never lose all my affection for people and things beyond recall. I will often think about them. They're still in my life, I thank them all. You're still in my life, I love you all.
Friends, I'm Maria Sorello, and I hope this message finds you well. 2 years ago this week, you joined us on a new journey for community outreach and social justice. That's when the Amherst Little Free Pantry opened on our church front portico. I'd like to thank the entire pantry team because it takes a village. I am the one talking to you, but there are many others involved. I could not do it alone. They have been working so hard under extraordinary circumstances these past 6 months. We had to shuffle around several daily pantry stockers who were at high risk and not leaving their homes. Several new team members came forward to help. Special thanks to Marie Evans, who is doing most of the shopping right now, and to Angela Warren and Chris Berry for their help. Nearly every day, our team encounters pantry users who've expressed their gratitude for having the pantry available. It's true we are making a difference in people's lives every single day.
These are our water barrels, the rain barrels. They had one donated by Ellen Numa, thank you, and one from Buffalo Niagara Waterkeepers. And so the reason we have these is because we have no running water back here. So if we collect rainwater, we can use that to irrigate any plants we might want to put back here. And the youth group painted them with their base primer coat of white today. And next week they're going to add on some colorful pictures. Oh, I hear something. Well, somebody's back there. I wonder who it is. Hello? Hello? Oh, hello. Oh, hi. It's Miss Green Jean. She's an expert gardener. Who did that thing? Put my mask on just to be safe.
I know I don't belong here, but I noticed that it was an ecology center. And so I decided to take a walk, and I noticed that there's not a lot of biodiversity here anymore.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we've got some very aggressive invasive woody species that have taken over the space, and I thought maybe I would just help the squirrels and other wildlife replant what may have been here before.
Hello. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Amherst. I'm Reverend Michelle Buhait, the minister of the church. We are so glad that you have chosen to worship with us today. Please see our website, uuamherst.org, or our emailed weekly update for opportunities to connect and to grow your soul. We begin our worship together with the lighting of our chalice. We gather this hour as people of faith, with joys and sorrows, gifts and needs. We light this beacon of hope, sign of our quest for truth and meaning, in celebration of the life we share together. Our opening words this morning come from Kathleen McTeague. You who are brokenhearted, who woke today with the winds of despair whistling through your mind, come in. You who are brave but wounded, limping through life and hurting with every step, come in. You who are fearful, who live with shadows hovering over your shoulders, come in. This place is a sanctuary, and it is for you. You who are filled with happiness, whose abundance overflows, come in. You who walk through your world with lightness and grace, who awoke this morning with strength and hope, you who have everything to give, come in. This place is your calling, a riverbank to channel the sweet waters of your life, the place where you are called by the world's need. Here we offer in love. Here we receive in gratitude. Here we make a circle from the great gifts of breath, attention, and purpose. Come in.